A skid, by definition, is an uncontrolled slide, a wooden support platform, or the act of sliding. It's also known as someone who takes code and claims it as theirs. It's short for script kiddie. Gorilla Game is a game on the Metastore that presents itself as one of the oldest versions of Gorilla Tag, when, in reality, is like anything but. To keep this intro shorter than it should be, and to prevent myself from going on a spiel about how much I hate this game, I could just summarize it as a mess. Going off of like gameplay and personal experiences alone, I really don't want to know what their Discord server is like at all. Before we get into the grimy mess that is Gorilla Game's bread and butter, their gameplay, coding, etc., I should quickly touch on their community. Like their game, it's a huge mess, like really. Similar to Gorilla Tag, it's mainly children, but if I were to say so, I would say that it's like 10x worse. Only with the children part though. Every single lobby I've gone into has been completely ruled by children, and it gets to a point where it's like genuinely a problem, especially for me, because I hate kids. Also, similarly to G-Tag, the people in there could be toxic. It varies from person to person, but it's still like a really low possibility, if I'm going to be honest, since it's a smaller community. Furthermore, I've seen little to no form of moderation inside of this game, like at all. Usually in these kinds of games, including Gorilla Tag itself, there's at least like a tiny little handful of moderators roaming around the lobbies to like catch people acting out, and like a working report system. But in Gorilla Game, at least from my personal experience, there just isn't any of what I just mentioned. There's no report system, and I've never seen a moderator in the game, and that surprises me. That scares me. This kind of stuff is like a huge issue, especially in these kinds of games, because there have been many times that I've seen people berate each other for the silliest reasons, and there was just nothing to stop them, like whatsoever. Gorilla Game prides itself on being a recreation of what just happened? Of being a recreation of Gorilla Tag's oldest versions, and like as I said before, I say this again to ask why the fuck there's a Virtual Stump and Echo VR ripoff? If you ever played the game before, you'd be able to say that this game is a mix of whatever the hell is popular. Like, someone who's played the game, please testify for me in the comments. I've seen Orion Drift, I've seen Gorilla Tag, I've seen Echo VR, I've seen Grab VR elements, but that is like a huge stretch, trust me. Like, dude, I've even heard that one dialogue from the horror of Cube Runners V2 before that one chase. Does anyone even remember that? And if you're playing the game for the first time with no prior knowledge of this, you'd expect it to be a funny little game that maybe has a subpar tag game mode to recreate G-Tag. The funny thing is, the tag game mode is oddly really good. Which leads me to my next point of discussion. Again, this is something that someone who has played the game before would have to testify for me, but if you go into the zone ball game mode and just play for a little bit, you'd realize that it plays very smoothly. Like, really, really smoothly. Someone say so in the comments again, but the zone ball game mode is just very well made. But for me, it seems like it's almost like too well made, if you get what I'm saying. Now, for the sake of fairness, that could just be me being paranoid about people using AI, you know? I haven't really been the same ever since I made that one short about TV Explorer, but can you really blame me? Gorilla Tag fan game developers, especially those of smaller and more bare-bones game, have a very small but notable track record of being excruciatingly lazy. And in being lazy, turning to AI and having it do all the hard work for you is the easiest thing to do. Looking at you, Zardy. I'm joking, of course, but my point still stands. I'm not a game developer, but I still know that networking things is very hard. And networking an entire game mode that centers around a physics object must be even harder. So, it would likely take the work of a literal coding god to have any of that work, unless they just took their idea, put it into AI. Do you see what I'm saying now? You see, AI has the knowledge of literally everyone who decides to put their coding online, which leads it to become, metaphorically, a coding god. Not exactly, since it uses the knowledge of the people that... You know what I mean. Now, after all of that, would it be really that far-fetched to assume that the people behind this game just asked AI to make a game mode that centers around two teams grabbing a physics object, in this case a ball, and throwing it into a goalpost? This even extends to the regular tag game mode, since similar to Gorilla Tag, Gorilla Game has an infection tag game mode, but differently, it feels very smooth. It feels smooth if we ignore the utterly dogshit hitboxes, but like, I digress. Now, Gorilla Tag's infection game mode isn't perfect, we all know that, but Gorilla Games is just so strangely good, excusing the terrible hitboxes for a moment. I can't help but assume that it's the work of AI. Now, if you're familiar with people's gripes with AI, you'd know that it's mainly that it steals from people's hard work, and that it profits off of them, which brings me to my next point. Look at this gameplay of Gorilla Tag. Look at the virtual stump. Look at me going into that one horse map. Look at me playing it. Now, look at me playing Gorilla Game. Look at its virtual stump. Look at me going into that one horse map. Look at me playing. Do you notice any differences? If you don't see any, you might need to get your eyes checked because they're the exact same map. There's no catch. It's just the exact same. I will say this though, the virtual stump itself in Gorilla Game looks slightly shittier. That's the only difference though. It's like comparing like oranges to mandarins. One's slightly smaller and therefore worse. Now, I don't know if the developers of, well, like quote unquote developers because of the AI thing. I don't know if they asked permission and got permission from the original developers of these maps. But I'm just gonna assume they didn't, because like, they use AI to code. What else could you expect? Another example, if you go into the shop, you'd see that they have a mod menu for sale, which is like common courtesy of shitty Gorilla Tag fan games, but just wait. See that they have a mod menu, a soundboard, and a Fortnite emote wheel. Do any of those things sound familiar to you? If the Fortnite emote wheel does, then this is because it was completely stolen from IIDK's GitHub page. The GitHub page that offers it for free, mind you. Oh, and that mod menu and that soundboard, it's just rebranded version of the II stupid menu. I'm serious when I say this, truly, because if you look at both of these side by side, they look completely identical other than the name. Now, before any of you say anything, I'm not dumb. I know about the controversy with IIDK, so it could be argued that, oh, they deserved it, which is just stupid. Like, what? I say that because, look, the II stupid menu, now renamed to Seralith and whatever, and the Fortnite emote wheel, I didn't mention a soundboard because the menu has a soundboard. They're just selling a completely identical product with a different function. They're both Gorilla Tag mods that are offered for completely free. Well, the mods offered in Gorilla Game, which are the exact same, by the way, but with a rename, are sold for like $5. That's $5 more than what it actually costs because it's free. Now, there could be many more instances of skidding in this game, but I couldn't find any. This would be the part of the video where I like dig up dirt on the people behind the game and show you that they're not good people. Oh, yeah, they're not good people. Even though you could already tell. But since you saw that this is the conclusion of the video, you can just tell that I didn't. Because I'm not going into their Discord, even if there is a bunch of dirt in there. Because you'd have to pay me to do that. In conclusion, Gorilla Game is a genuine mess. Like, no joke. And it doesn't end at personal opinion. There are real problems with this game, and what do I do? What do I recommend that you do with this information? I don't know. I recommend that you don't play the game, because it sucks, and I hate it. All I do is skid no matter what. Got code inside my game, yeah, I'll never give it up.